all-A honor roll during her entire career at Andrews Elementary School. Aubrey is a member of our Gifted and Talented program and has served on our academic team. Aubrey gives 100% in everything she attempts. She is always lending a hand to others and is a great friend to others as well. Aubrey doesn't just excel in the classroom. She excels outside of the classroom as well. Outside of school, Aubrey is a member of the Conway chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. She is a faithful member of Great Present AME Church, where she is a member of the social media team and the youth choir. She is also learning to play the clarinet. No matter where you see Aubrey, her bright smile will light up the room, and you can't help but be touched by her presence. It is an honor to present to you Miss Aubrey Wilson.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Aubrey, and the grandiose fast staff at Andrews Elementary. So now it's Mr. Hamill, Dr. Hamill, who will recognize all 221 all-state athletes.
Good evening, Chairman Lance, members of the board, Mr. Price, district staff, and guests. At this time, I have the honor and privilege of recognizing our all-state student athletes from the fall 2021 season. 12 Georgetown County School District student athletes were named all-state teams this past fall. I'd like to commend each one of them for not only excelling in their sport, but for also promoting academic achievement, good citizenship, a healthy lifestyle, sportsmanship, competitiveness, and fair play. At this time, I'm going to recognize each of the student athletes by school. And when I do, I'll be joined, as the board comes down, I'll be joined by the principal and the coaches that are here tonight from each school. Students, if you'll please come forward as your name is called. Our first honorees from Andrews High School. Andrews High School had one student named to the All-State team. At this time, it's my privilege to recognize junior Tristan Phillips as an All-State volleyball player. Carvers Bay High School. Carvers Bay High had two students named to an all-state team in the fall. Seniors Morgan Glover and Kennedy Collins were named to the all-state volleyball team. Yes, sir, and their picture as well. Yes, sir. Guacamole High School. Mr. George is representing Guacamole High School tonight. Guacamole High School had 9 students named all-state teams. 3 of those students were previously recognized: Anna Margaret Loftus, Claire Fico, and Rachel Neal with all-state girls cross country when they were here earlier. The others tonight could not attend due to other commitments in spring sports, but they were senior Lily Jaworowski and junior Savannah Prox were all-state volleyball. Junior Ansley Amay Flowers and 7th grader Caden Greer were named to the girls tennis all-state team. Junior Allie Bird was named all-state for girls golf. And senior Ross Falau was named to the All-State Boys Cross Country team. So congratulations to those athletes as well. Thank you, guys.
Three, 1, 2, 3. That worked. Thank you. Thank you.
The college on a volleyball. It's got wonderful.
Now we move on. Next on the agenda, we have public comments or requests. Today is one of my lucky days. We have one card. Mr. Crosby?
Must be my lucky day. Members of the board, it's a pleasure to see so many of y'all. It's been a while, but it is nice to see faces that I know and I hope can understand my point. I'm here about the modified or the bridge calendar. I'm not here to say that it's a bad idea ultimately, but what I am here to say, because I don't know enough about it. I did some research. I saw like Greenwood 50 apparently is on it, some other districts in that area. So I don't know that information. But what I do know is that y'all are asking, or it has been proposed, that there be a modification of the 2002-2023 school year. And at least the first I saw that was about the first of the year. And speaking selfishly, I am already making plans with some Boy Scouts to go out to Philmont in August, which would put them, they would already have missed the maximum days by the time that they get back from their trip. So there are many families throughout the district who are making plans and have been making plans based on what they believe the calendar to be. Typically, Georgetown starts about 15 August, thereabouts. I know that the state law has a certain change unless you're doing the year-round calendar. But the bottom line is there are families throughout the district, myself included, who have planned on taking extended and expensive trips that if we can't go, we don't get our money back. So I would ask the school district that even if you wish to continue to pursue that, and again, I'm not saying that I do not agree with changing. I'm just saying you can't give us just 7 months roughly notice because plans are already being made and laid and paid for. So I would just ask that y'all reconsider that, and if you're going to pursue it, push it back a year. Make the announcement now that you're going to do it next year or the following year so that everybody knows where to go with that. So with that, it's a pleasure to appear before you. So good to see so many familiar faces. And if there are any questions, I'm available. And I did respond to your email, and I very well am happy to do that as well. Thank y'all very much. Now I get to go to soccer team with my son for guitar lessons.
Have a good night, Mr. Next, we have on the agenda approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the minutes as presented. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? None ayes have it. The minutes have been approved. And of course, we have adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the agenda as adopted. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Nay. Ayes have it. Agenda has been approved. And we have several action items coming up. We have a personnel list. And we have Mr. Doug Jenkins and one of my former person that I had the pleasure to deal with at a very early age. Having said all that, the administration recommends, and that is Dr. Myrtle Brown Wilson. The administration recommends approval of personnel list as presented. Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the personnel list.
Second.
Why the motion was made, all right. Second? I can't do that.
Lynn, second.
Okay, just in case, all right. It has been moving, properly second, that the personnel list be accepted as presented. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? None? The motion is carried. Now, Mr. Keith will deal with the next two. Well, first of all, second, temporary suspension of policy, I see it, Mr. Keith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, first off, I would like to commend our calendar committee this year because they took a look at our traditional calendar, did some research, did some open discussion, looked at other calendars around the state at some innovative practices, and they brought back at our last board meeting a proposal for a modified academic year as well as a bridge year. And after that proposal, we put those calendars up for comment, and we've received lots of comments about the proposals. Some comments echoed what was said during public participation earlier tonight. There were a lot of comments that were very positive and supportive. There were a lot of comments that were not. But we also noticed that there were a lot of comments that were confused and inaccurately attributed to one calendar or the other. And there wasn't a large tilt one way or the other. But to make a change of this significance, we don't want to rush it through. We don't want to try to fastball this. We want to make sure that we give it our due diligence, that we do our research, and that we do some education about what this modified calendar is and what it is not. And have some discussions out in our community and to get some real feedback, have an opportunity for some Q&A sessions, and then make a determination if this is a direction that our county is interested in moving in, or if it's not right for us, or maybe it could be, but maybe not exactly at this time. So I don't think it's something that we have to rush through. The modified calendar was aimed at 23-24, with 22-23 being a bridge. And so what I've asked our calendar committee to do is to go back and work on a more traditional type calendar for 22-23 to bring for discussion at our next board meeting. And let us do some more work and some more research about the concept of a modified calendar as we move forward to see whether or not that's a good fit for Georgetown County. But in order to do that, we have to look at suspending policy ICA, which says that the school district calendars for the next 3 years should be reviewed and approved in January. And we suspended that policy a couple of years back because of COVID. and we haven't gotten back into that. So in order to be true to our policies, it would require suspension to call that vote by the end of January, and we're one day past that already. But this would give us the opportunity to make right, to do some more investigations, have some more conversations, and to bring that up for future discussion. So what I'm asking at this point is for the board to suspend policy ICA, and we would bring a 22-23 calendar back to you at our next meeting for our work session so that we could have some open conversation and discussion at that time.
The administration recommends the temporary suspension of policy ICA school calendar for the remainder of the year 2021, 2022 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
Second.
All right, good. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Opposes? Ayes have it. The temporary suspension of policy ICA is approved. March meeting dates.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, our HR department is working aggressively to try to move up our timeline for offering contracts. And our second meeting date in March falls in a window where it's too soon to bring that official annual HR report for approval back to you. But we didn't want to wait until the first meeting in April to bring it back, because then we would be falling behind for the efforts that we've made to try to move that process up. So in order to avoid calling a third meeting in March in order to meet that timeline, we thought what might be best is to shift the March 15th meeting back 1 week, from March 15th to March 22nd. It keeps us at 2 meetings in March, and it keeps our HR department on its timeline of getting contracts out, back, and approved according to their calendar.
The administration recommends moving the board meeting that is currently scheduled for March 15th to March 22nd to better accommodate the schedule and deadline for contract issuance through the Human Resources Department. All those in favor?
Got a call for the motion.
Pardon me.
Call for the motion.
Okay. Motion.
I move that we change the meeting date from the third week in March till March 22nd.
Second.
Motion.
Ms. Johnson, second.
Said.
Oh, it's a second.
seconded.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Right. It has been moved and probably second that the meeting dates presented by the superintendent be approved as presented. Oh, have we been on that road? All right, let's reboot. The administration recommends the board meeting that is currently scheduled for March 15 to March 17, 22nd be better accommodated. It said the scheduled deadline for contract issuance through the Human Services Department. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Ms. Hamel moved.
So moved.
Ms. Johnson seconded.
Okay. It isn't probably moved in second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carried. The next action item by Mr. Seabury.
Good evening, Chairman Lance, Superintendent Price, members of the board. Pleasure to be here tonight. We're requesting approval for contracts for design services for our last 3 roofs. Typically, we've started these in the fall for the next year, but with the current material delivery issues that we're having, seem to be unlikely to be resolved this year. We're trying to move these up so that we can bid these sooner. These roofs are scheduled to be done the summer of 2023, but we want to get these designed on the bid platform as soon as possible, get them bid for next year to make sure these are done next year. And this is WM Building that has done our last 3 roofs. They've done a couple of other roofs for the district as well. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any question, anybody? The administration recommends approval of the contract to WM Building Envelope Consultant for roof replacement at Carvers Bay High School, Guacamole High School, J.B. Beck Administration and Education Center. As presented, the design costs for these projects are $52,000, $18,500, and $66,000 respectively. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
It has been moving, probably second, that it has been moved and second by that the information presented on the agenda be accepted. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Nay. Ayes have it. Motion carried. Now we have board superintendent comments or requests. I got a little nervous on one of those questions when I looked up at the clock there. You know, I was just wondering if Mr. Keith was going to try to slip some other items on the agenda after 3 hours from last week. In either case, you had me sweating. He didn't. So again, we have board superintendent comments or requests.
Yeah, Mr. Price, Mr. Chair, if I may. The calendar situation, I don't want to muddy the waters on this, okay? I want to be very clear. Can you hear me, Chris? Okay, sometimes you say you cannot hear me. Okay, I want to be clear. It's not a bad idea to look at a true year-round calendar, one that would look like, and not for the entire district now, because other schools do this across the country, like 9 weeks on, 3 weeks off. It could be a magnet school, you know, maybe one elementary school. But we always talk about the summer lag. And unfortunately, like every other county, we have students who lag behind during the summer months, and even the intervals of Thanksgiving and Christmas vacations. So it may not be a bad idea. Once again, I don't want to misconstrue anything. I'm not saying we're going to go year-round school, but it may be worth a look into possibly making it a magnet school or something, just like we have the Montessori school, right? Every school is not Montessori. That's one school. And who knows, one school may be successful and another may follow, who knows? But it's something, I think, entertaining that we should entertain, at least the thought process.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, we made it through our first ice day and our first snow day successfully. That means we also had to implement our first e-learning day due to inclement weather this year. And based on our debrief and feedback review, it looks as though it was largely a success. There are a couple of areas that we are planning to take a closer look at to see if our next e-learning day can be even more successful. Last week, Mr. Cohens and I had the opportunity to attend a partnership kickoff between Georgetown County School District, Williamsburg County School District, and the Black River United Way. It's called Project READ, and Project READ was launched so that it will aim to align efforts to improve literacy for our youngest learners. The goal is to have 90% of students reading on grade level at the 3rd grade by the year 2030. I'm excited at the potential benefits this partnership will bring to the many students of Georgetown County School District. Yesterday marked the 100th day of school, and many of our schools have been celebrating their hard work thus far, and there are many more events planned later this week if anyone is available to attend. Many of the health experts predicted a downward trend in our COVID cases by the time February rolled around, and it looks as though they were right, knock on wood. I want to be sure to thank all of our teachers, counselors, administrators, support staff, and our superstar nurses who helped us navigate through the busy weeks following winter break for our most recent surge. Hopefully, we will see these positive trends continue throughout the spring. This year, we are planning to resume our all-county band and chorus concerts on February 11th and 18th with a few modifications to ensure safety, and we encourage everyone who is able to support our young musicians to come and attend. If everyone in the audience would take a look at your right, my left, you will see some new ceramic and pottery art pieces that have been added to our student display boxes. A special thank you to Mr. Ralph Westbrook, visual arts teacher from Georgetown High, for showcasing the artistic talents of Jesus Lara, a gifted student artist. We are extremely proud that even in challenging times, our arts programs still thrive. And finally, upon your approval last month, I am happy to introduce to you our new Director of Payroll and Benefits, who is in the audience this evening, Ms. Tamika Frazier. If you would stand, Ms. Frazier, so everyone can see who you are. Welcome aboard. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Do we have any other comments? I see that A word down there. Do I have a motion? To adjourn.
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk.
But I didn't need what.
Siri thought you were talking to her, so she...
What did-
I'm sorry about that.
No, the meeting is adjourned.
I didn't mean to do that.